Time now for the starring role, where we get a chance each and every week to talk football with Giant safety Antrel Rolle via SNY video chat. Antrel, thanks for joining us. And right out of the gate, got to ask you about what everybody's talking about. What do you think of this whole Jonathan Martin, Richie Incognito story out of Miami?
First and foremost, I think it's very unfortunate. Obviously for the Dolphins organization to have to deal with something that's taking place like this. I have sympathy for Jonathan Martin. You never know what an individual is going through, but like I say, hazing is one thing, bullying is another.
You went on the radio today. You talked to Joe and Evan, and you basically you said that you thought that Jonathan Martin should have stopped it. Is that right?
Absolutely. Like I say, I'm just honestly speaking from my perspective, my point of view, and the way I would handle the situation. But then again, you never know what Jonathan Martin is going through, as an individual on or off the field. So, but he's a big guy. This is not his rookie year. He's his own man. He's his own individual, and there's no reason why someone of his size and being that he is a man should ever have to deal with or even put up with another man bullying him. To me, I really don't understand it. And, I just honestly feel that if you allow someone to do something to you, they're going to continue to do it until you stop them. And I think that goes for any one of us in this world today. Doesn't matter what field we're in. So
if that was you, you would have stopped it in whatever way you could have.
Well, if that was me, it would have never taken place in the first place. I think people get away with doing certain things as an individual that they feel that they can get away with. I don't think that I carry myself in that manner. Football is one thing, but when you start talking about, racial slurs and threats and so forth and so on, then, football has to take a back seat to what has to take place. And, hey, I'm a man before anything else. I was a man before, I'm putting my pads on. I'm going to be a man when I take my pads off. So you have to handle yourself as a man and as an individual.
So when you say handle yourself as a man, in your estimation, did Jonathan Martin not handle himself as a man in this situation?
I'm not saying that he didn't handle himself like a man. I'm just saying he didn't handle himself like I would have handled myself. And like I say, everyone's going to have their own opinion, based off what happened. And this is just honestly my opinion. People can agree or they can disagree. But, like I said, I'm honestly just speaking from my perspective. If I were Jonathan Martin, would I have handled things differently? Absolutely. Like I say, there's not going to be any other man that's going to bully me. I'm just not raised that way. I'm not built that way. And, I hold myself accountable for any other actions that someone may want to, take upon me.
Now, we understand that Jonathan Martin, for whatever reason, didn't seem to have it in him to stop this or didn't feel he could. Should somebody else on the Dolphins, take us inside a locker room dynamic. Should somebody else in that locker room, whether it's a veteran or a coach, have seen this and stopped this before it got to this point?
Well, coaches, absolutely not, because 9 times out of 10, a coach is not going to understand or even know what takes place within the locker room. The locker room is a player's sanctuary. That's where the players bond. That's where they communicate. That's where they joke around. They play. And, that's where they come together. So coaches, you're going to deal with the coaches on the field, and you're going to deal with the coaches in the meeting room. Anything else outside of that, the coach is not going to be aware of anything. But even for the players, I don't know, the actual facts of what took place or how it even, was going down. But even as players, certain individuals might see some things, but it might not be that players know that, there's voicemails being left.
We don't know how all this works. In your mind, tabs of $15,000, $30,000, that's well beyond what is normal when it comes to a little rookie hazing?
Well, I'll be lying if I say I haven't heard stories of that before. But then again, like I say, everyone is their own individual. When I was a rookie, I was fortunate enough to be a first-round draft pick. So, I knew I was going to be taxed. But when I went, I took my duties as a man. I carried the pads. I've been taped up. I've been thrown in the ice tubs. Certain things are going to come along with being a rookie. Did I get mad at it? No. I knew it was just being a part of the game. But under any means was I going to be roughhoused by any man within the organization. I wasn't going to let any man manhandle me. I wasn't going to let anyone bully me, because at that point in time, you're not doing things that, as far as rookie hazing. You know, you're trying my manhood. You're trying me as a man. So as a man, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to stand up for myself. Now, as far as paying the bill, $30,000, $15,000, you know, I got hit my rookie year for, I had a limit. I say, listen, I'll pay $10,000. Anything over that, you're on your own. If you have a problem with it, you know where I'm at. My locker's going to be right here. And that's just the reality of it.
All right, let's get back. We appreciate you being so candid about that whole situation, but let's get back to what you know a lot about, which is where the Giants stand right now. Obviously, they went into the bye week on a roll, you guys did, but then you watched every other team in the NFC East get a win on Sunday. How much did that set you guys back?
It didn't set us back at all. You know, as Giants, we have to take destiny in our own hands, and we have to make and create our own way. Obviously, you know, there's going to be, like I say, you know, people with different opinions, people with different views, but the kind of guy that I am, the kind of guy that I've always been, doesn't matter if you're talking about football, just the way of life. I like to earn each and everything that I get. So are we going to need help? I mean, yeah, the reality is, obviously, you know, we're going to need help, being that we started 0-6, but I like to think that even at this point, with us being 2-6, we can pretty much control our own destiny right now. That's what we're fighting for. So this team is fighting. We're a fighting team with Giants, and you know we're going to go down with a fight. I mean, that's the way we live, and that's how we're going to roll from this point on.
You call it like you see it. You're not afraid to call a guy out. Is it time for Jason Pierre-Paul to pick things up now?
Jason Pierre-Paul, you know, for us, we understand what we're working with Jason Paul. You know, this guy had a severe back injury that he's been dealing with, and he came back extremely fast. You know, I know JPP and I have several conversations one-on-one. And do I think he's 100% right now? No, I know he's not 100% because I know JPP. But he's going out there and he's giving us everything that he has because he's a teammate, because he's a fighter, and because he knows that we're depending on him.
Antrel, we appreciate it as always. We'll speak to you next week.
Take care.